I was in Memphis my first day, and they didn't want me there. They kind of brought me in because Jimmy Crockett had bought out Florida, and there was no room for a rookie manager. And I was 21 years old, and I was out of a job. And I was just going to go back to New York, but Bigelow was there and needed someone to ride with. So he bugged Jerry Lawler to bring me in. So they brought me in, and we weren't going to do anything with me. They're going to stick me with this big, stupid guy. This is their description of, we're going to put you with this big, stupid guy who wears a mask. He'll last a couple of weeks. As long as Bigelow's here, we'll just appease him by bringing you in. And the big guy was Sid, who was George Humongous. In his second match at the time, he was 340 pounds. He was straight off the farm at the time. So they brought me in, and I said, well, what do you want me to do? And Jerry just looked at me and he went,
hey, you just go out there and talk. Can you talk? Can you talk? I don't know many people from New York. Can you talk? Jerry said, hey, talk.
I don't know, I'm just kissing Bigelow's ass by bringing him in. So I said, well, what do you want me to say? He goes,
see, anything you want, live TV. What's the matter? You know how to talk? Just go out there and talk for 2 minutes. Can't you talk?
I said, okay, what are my parameters? He goes,
I don't care. Just go on and get some heat. You know what heat means, boy? You know what heat means.
I said, yeah, you're getting it with me right now. No problem. And I said, well, I said, by the way, nobody told me what I was going to make here, because that's when he told me what I was going to make, he got a lot of heat with me. So I went out there with Sid, and Sid, Sid just went out there, and he's supposed to have like a 4-minute match, and he hit the guy with a clothesline and drove his chin, and the guy's head hit the ground, and he knocked the guy out in about 3 seconds. And I'm sitting there going, oh man, we're supposed to have a 1-minute interview, and I know they're going to give me one of these. Extend it. And I'd only done like 2 interviews in Florida. I mean, that's all I knew. I mean, I did 2 interviews in Florida, and that was it. And half the time I was doing interviews in Florida, I was coming off a concussion because I spent the first 6 weeks in Florida, my only 6 weeks in Florida, getting knocked out every night by Razor Ramon. Oh, he may be a push now, but he was stiff then, Chico. I mean, that son of a bitch, he knocked me out every fucking night. I mean, but then again, I was 155 pounds at the time, and I wasn't his size, and he would certainly take advantage of that. So here I am, I'm doing my first live interview, and I don't know what to do, so I'm sitting there, and Sid just pins the guy, and Lance Russell going, come over here. So I walk over to Lance Russell, and they go, and like they're doing the replay, and Dave Brown's calling it in that real monotone, Dave Brown. And I go to Lance, he goes, just tear it up. And I knew the one thing to do was to make Lance Russell hate me. Because Lance Russell, for years, I watched him hold that mic, and when Jimmy Hart used to really get on him and talk about his makeup by Max Factor and everything else, Lance would hate that, make fun of his nose, and I mean, Lance would really, really hate it, and if Lance hated you, then the people at home are going to know, I should hate this guy too, and I'll pay money to see him get his ass kicked, which is what his job is. So I said, I'm going to make this bastard hate me, because Lance had been so nonchalant. Okay, we're here with Tommy Rich, who just broke Jerry Lawler's balls. And Tommy from Hendersonville, and hi, Tommy. Like, hi, Lance, how you doing, baby? Hi, it's Sandman. Hey, come on, give me some, baby. Mama said I need some beer. Hey, franchise, you threw down that bell. God damn. Shaw, yeah. So I said, I'm going to make this son of a bitch hate me. So I walk on there, and everybody before me in Memphis, this was 87, and everybody was screaming at the time. This was, the Hulk Hogan era, and I was 21, and I used to be a big fan. When I was a kid, and I wanted to be a heel, I always looked at Spiros Arion. Because he was the one heel that he scared the shit out of me. Spiros Arion used to come on TV and go, Bruno San Martino, I'm going to stick my thumb in your eye just for fun. And there's nothing that you can do about it. I sit there and go, Dad! Daddy's gonna rip out Bruno's eye! Oh, God, poor Bruno! Because he was ugly enough as it was. So I figured I don't want to go on there and yell because everybody, Jerry Lawler's went there, I'm gonna kill us and I'm gonna Kelton and Austin Idol was like the greatest interview that I ever saw, and he used to have, I'm gonna come down to the Coliseum, you scumbags, and I'm saying, I can't compete with him either, so I'm just gonna talk, because nobody else was talking. And I just came on there and I just said, you know, I said, Lance, I'm 21 years old, and I very rarely leave New York, because why would you want to leave God's country? And I come down here to Tennessee, you know, I mean, I've seen the clips of Andy Kaufman and everybody else coming through here, and it's you know, Jerry Jarrett is a legend here, and Jeff Jarrett's a young kid trying to make his way, and Billy Travis is here, and Paul Diamond's here, and Rocky Johnson and Bill Dundee, you know, passed through here, and of course, when you're this tall, it's easy to pass through. And I said, and you've been here for what? I said 70, 85 years? And now I see his hand going like, you know, his foot's tapping. I'm going, oh, I'm getting to him, you know. So and I'm watching, and I can see Eddie Marlin over there, and he's like going like, hey, this kid can talk. This is good. Hey, we're gonna have fun with this kid. All right, hey, we got a manager in here. This is 21 years old. We'll keep him and starve him for 10 years. He'll never know. I mean, it was told me, I was in there and they told me 5 times, you're 21 years old, I'm 21 years old, you're 21 years old, I'm 21 years old, hey, he's 21 years old, hey, I know what they're thinking, we don't pay him shit, he's 21 years old, he'll be happy just to be here, you know, he'll get laid, he'll be on the road, he's 21, all right. So I sat there and I said, hey, I said, the thing is though, I said, I'm a very intelligent 21, being that I graduated when I was 18 from Princeton, and you know, there's a newsstand, and this part's a shoot. And probably the second part is too, but I said, there's a newsstand in New York called Hodling's News Service. It's on 42nd Street and 6th Avenue. And they had the newspapers from around the world. And what happened is that I would go in there every Sunday to pick up the Memphis Commercial Appeal. And Lance goes, oh, it's a fine newspaper, because he sponsored the show. And he said, it's a fine newspaper, Paul, it's a fine. I said, it's a real fine newspaper. What I find very funny is how here in Memphis, you guys consider Jerry Lawler the big man in town. I said, and coming from New York, I kind of find it ironic that Jerry Lawler is the big man in town. And once I came here, I've really understood why Jerry Lawler is the big man in town, because if Jerry Lawler is the big man in Memphis, no wonder you have so many lesbians in and around Tennessee. No, he's trying to sue me once. And Lance just stood there and froze. And I looked straight, and now, you know, the cameraman was like, and there's one, we had his hippie cameraman who was really cool, because he was always drunk and stoned by Saturday morning. He was just like, hey, man, I want to see some good TV, man. And he was this cool dude, and I just see that camera go right in on me, and I knew, I said, oh, I got him now. I'm fired, but I got him. And I looked at the camera and said, so Lawler, let me put it straight. Don't screw with me. Don't screw with Humongous. Don't screw with me. Don't screw with anybody in my association, because if you do, I'll take you down. End of story. Thank you. Goodbye. And I said, let's go, Sid. And we walked off. We walked off, and I walked by Eddie Marlin, and I go like this. I go, yeah, yeah. He's like, right? And I see Randy Hales coming in with a wet towel running up to Eddie Marlin, because I think Marlin was going to have a heart attack. He goes, Mr. Marlin! Mr. Marlin! Like this. And I walk in the back, and right behind the curtain, I swear to God, Jerry Jarrett's sitting there, and he had swallowed his tobacco. I don't know what else Jerry swallowed in his life, but I don't think the taste of tobacco was really sitting with me. And he said, oh, come on, get your mind out of the gutter. It doesn't make him a bad person, all right? So he's sitting there, and he's like this, and here's the cup, and tobacco's on his hands, and it's on, and he's like, I go, was it okay? Was it okay? And he goes, I go, was it okay? I'm thinking he's gonna go, that was the greatest interview I've ever seen. He goes, lesbian! Lesbian! I'm going, cool line, right? I got him, Jerry. Oh man, it's gonna be great. And he goes, did you say lesbian on my TV show? I go, yeah. I said, if Jerry Lawler's the big man, and he goes, I heard it! I heard it! Now, like now, his face is blood red, his ears were as red as this jacket. I mean, there was like blood coming out of his eyes. he wants to kill me, this guy. And I'm thinking, I could just kill him, you know? He's like, you can't say that! I said, is it live TV? He goes, yeah. I said, well, I said it. He goes, what the hell is wrong with you? You can't say that on TV! You can't do that! I said, well, I just did. I said, I think it'll do well for your show. And the switchboard's like this. And I see it, and you hear the, and I'm like, right next to the operator. She has one of those, like, you know, the headpiece. And you hear her going this. Yes, we're interested in him too. I'm very sorry, it was terribly edited. Yes, we thought it was very funny too. I'm sorry, it was terribly edited. I mean, it's just one plus another. They loved it or they hated it. And Jerry Lawler comes in and he goes, well, you lasted one day. And he just walks off. I guess he thought I was like a 14-year-old girlfriend of his. Oh, like I'm the one that gave her the false ID, right? Excuse me. The median age of his date is less than Cher's. Come on. Crying out loud. Like I drive him to the sandbox every Saturday and we'll pick her up, Jerry. She looks like she has fun on a seesaw. Oh, God. What did I do? So anyway, so he walks away from me. Hey, truth is truth. So he walks away, and Jerry's just sitting there, and he's going, Jerry, did you hear what he said? He said lesbian. Oh, I can't believe I said that. What? You New Yorkers are crazy, and everybody from New York is crazy as you. And I go, oh, fuck no, I just said lesbian. He goes, oh, I'm gonna lose my TV show. What's my mama gonna say? I said, her date might probably like it. I go, well, because, and he fired me. He said, you finish up tomorrow. That's you. You finish tomorrow. You're lucky I can let you work tomorrow, but I'll pay for your plane ticket, and I'm gonna ship your ass back to New York. A lesbian? Oh, I gotta have a heart attack. And he left the room. And I sat there. I went, oh, well, I'm out. And I walk in, and all the boys are like, that was a great promo, man. I said, hey, I just got fired over there. Everybody gets fired here. You'll be back.
Fired me 6 months.
So the next day we went to the Midtown Coliseum, and they were like real pissed at me. They wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't tell me what the finish was. Nothing. They were just like, screw you, you know. And I'm about to go out to the match, and I figured, oh, it's my last day. Let them remember me. And I said, just give me one spot. I just want one spot in this match where you just hold the guy down. If you do that, I'm going to get these people to climb the rails. And I had 3 things in mind, which I had never tried, and I ended up doing it for 5 years after that. So first thing we came out is that we were against, it was either Davey Haskins or John Paul. You know, your typical white meat babyface. We went out there, and I for the match, I just said, we're gonna kick your ass so bad that you're going to be as useless as a woman from Memphis when we're done with you. And you could feel that crowd. You know, the rumble started, you know. They're starting like this. And then Sid is just hammering them. And I turned around and, you know, we did the old pull the hair gimmick, even though Sid had no hair, you know, because he's humongous. Then he pulled the hair, and, you know, asked them, and the referee asked them, and they go, no, they're pulling hair. I got on the mic, I said, the next person that stands up and calls me a liar, I will hop over this rail and I'll smack you and your illegitimate daughters right in the face. Hey man, that's my daughter. And she's 9 years old, damn it, in 3 years she's gonna marry Jerry Lawler. I knew I had him, you know, we have him coming, you know, and there's one little kid over here, and he's
someone get my lawyer on the phone.
He's the first little kid just sitting there right there, and it was the first kid that said, he goes, Paulie sucks! And I said, oh, I got him. Oh, man, if I get these people to chant Paulie sucks, I know I got him. I'm leaving on a bang. I said, don't you say that, I'll smack your mother. And the mother goes, Paulie sucks! Paulie sucks! And then it just went right down the line. Now the whole building's doing it. The whole building's doing it. I figured I gotta find the biggest, baddest son of a bitch in the building, because he's the guy that wants to jump the rail. And we found him. Sid even put, look at that son of a bitch over there. I said, oh, I got this guy. So I waited till the whole building shooting Paulie sucks. And I said, Sid, get out of the ring. Sid gets out of the ring. I hop up on the apron. I said, hey, you're right, I do suck, but it was his mother that taught me how. And here he comes. Hey, you son of a bitch! And he comes and he's trying to climb over the rail. Now cops are him down, and they pull him back, and I'm going, come on, I'll fight all you guys, let's go. And Sid beat him. And we came back to the dressing room, and I sat there, and I just sat down, and I went, well, that's it, pack up my bags, I got a plane to catch. And Jerry Jarrett comes in, he kicks over Jerry, and he goes, now I can't fire you. What the hell I'm gonna do? I said, use me right. He goes, but you said lesbian. So that's Sandman's favorite Memphis story.
That was the best part of the